So I recorded this video, this deck profile that you're about to see, and while I was editing and going to upload it, I discovered that old man Bandai has dropped a surprise ban list on us, which does affect this build right here. So we will be doing an updated profile of this in the future, but for now, use this while you can, because arguably, in my opinion, this is probably the best deck of the format. Whitebeard is up there as well, but I think Zoro is definitely got a great matchup into a lot of things. So for this next week, smash this deck out as much as you can. After that, we'll make sure we have an updated profile for you of how Zoro is going to be looking in the future. Enjoy. G'day guys, and welcome back to another One Piece deck profile. Today we're going to be checking out Zoro. So Zoro, definitely probably one of the better decks in the format right now. Has a great matchup into everything. The new stuff that we get out of OP03 just makes it more consistent. And the playstyle does slightly change with Zoro as well. If you remember back in OP1 and OP2, it was very aggro, very low to the ground. It is now kind of more of a mid-rangey kind of deck. You got a lot more defensive options than you traditionally had in Zoro. But we'll go through and talk about all those things just now. First of all, let's have a look at our wonderful, beautiful leader here. So for those that don't know, Zoro is a mono red leader, 5,000 power, starts with 5 life. The effect is absolutely amazing. Don times 1, your turn or your characters gain 1,000 power, which is absolutely fantastic. So you're popping 1 Don underneath and you can getting up to 5-6 Don worth of value just out of 1 card. Absolutely insane. So it's really good into everything, because just that extra bit of power is nice, especially into Whitebeard. Just having that extra power buff on your characters to be able to swing a lot easier in Whitebeard is really good. So as per usual with our deck profiles, we're going to be having a look at cards that kind of work well together and that have a similar purpose playstyle in the deck. So we're going to first start off with actually a brand new card from OP03, which is our new Marco. So this one is a 5 cost 6,000 body, 1,000 counter. Your turn on play is KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. So really great, nice removal. And the on KOs, you may trash 1 event card from your hand and you may play this character from your trash rested. So similar to the old Marco that could regen itself by trashing a Whitebeard type card, this one can regen itself by trashing an event type card. But the removal is quite nice, and then just having a 6k body after that is absolutely amazing. The next card that we have is also a removal card. We are running 2 Vistas. So Vista, 3 cost, 3,000 body, 1,000 counter. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. So exactly the same KO effect as the old Marco. And there are a lot more builds not running any Vistas or a low amount of Vistas, just because the Marco is really good, because it can regen itself, is a 6k body, and has that removal effect right there. Now, to make our removal cards a bit more viable for some bigger bodies, because 3,000 is not that big at all, we are running 3 copies of the promo Gordon. So Gordon is a 1 cost 2,000 body, no counter. The effect is activate main. You replace this card at the bottom of the owner's deck, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power for the turn. So combining a Gordon with a Marco or a Vista there, that's killing things at 6,000 if you have a couple of them, 9, so on, and you can take out pretty much everything if you have a few of these. To help there as well, we are running a full play set of Otamas. So Otama, a 1 cost 0 power, 2,000 counter, which is absolutely great. So on plays, give one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during the turn. So 2,000 here, 3,000 with Gordon, that's already 5,000. Just for 2 Don, drop Vista, killing something that's 8,000 for just 5 Don, 7 Don if you go the Marco out. And that's why I do run the Vista in there, just because it is a cheaper removal. Yes, it is a smaller body, but sometimes you just need some cheap removal. You need to stack a few of your power reduction cards together to be able to take care of something big and nasty. And by the way, all these cards are searchable. There's only 1 card in the deck that is not searchable, which makes this deck super consistent, super nice, which is why arguably one of the best decks for the format. But that's all your removal based cards that we have in the deck. Next up, we'll have a look at our defensive cards of the deck. we are running just 3 of the old blocker Marco. So it is a 4 cost, 5,000 body, 1,000 counter. As I said, is a blocker, and the on-KO is you may trash 1 card with Whitebeard Pirates in its type from your hand, then you can play him out from your trash. Now you can only activate that effect if you have 2 or less life though, so just keep that in mind there. The other card, which is mainly used for your defensive strategies power, is Jozu. So Jozu is just mainly in there for the 2k counter. It is a 4 cost, 4,000 body. The effect does not apply for Zoro because its rush effect can only be gained if your leader is a Whitebeard Pirate, which Zoro is not. So mainly in there for that 2k counter. Sometimes you just need a 4k body on there just to have an extra body on board. Next up, for our defensive options, we're running a full play set of Radical Beam. So Radical Beam, absolutely insane card. 1 cost. One of your leader characters gains 2,000 power for the battle, but if you have 2 or less life, it then gains 4,000 instead of 2,000. Absolutely insane value. 1 Don for 4,000 power, insane. The trigger is your leader or one of your characters gains 1,000 power during the turn. Not really going to use it too much for the trigger. Sometimes it does help, so you can just survive another turn so you can win. But otherwise, most of the time, that 4k buff is what you're going to be using it for. Then rounding off our defensive options that we have here in the deck, we are running a full play set of Guard Point. So Guard Point costs you 1, it is a counter, and it boosts one of your characters or leaders by 3,000, which is absolutely great. Does happen all the time, so there's no life restrictions right there. The trigger is the exact same as the Radical Beam, buff something by 1,000 for the turn. So this group of cards here is what's kind of very new for Zoro in OP03. OPO 1 and 2, not really having a lot of these, more just kind of trying to aggro, rush everything down. Thanks to some of the great Whitebeard stuff or event searches that we'll talk about in a second, we can play more of these without it feeling bricky, still maintaining that consistency as well as that aggro. All right, next up we're going to talk about a little bit of spice that's introduced to us here. So we are running 2 copies of Marshall D Teach. So there's a 4 cost, 6,000 body, no counter. The effect is when attacking, you may trash 1 of your red characters with 4,000 power or more, draw 1 card, then this character gains 1,000 power during this battle. So Teach is actually really good into the Whitebeard just because naturally 6k with Zoro's buff, you're going up to 7k, and then with his own effect, you're going up to 8k, and all you're doing is using 1 Don and eating up 1 character. There are plenty of targets for Teach to trigger that effect off. A lot of the searches you can get buffed up to that 4k with Zoro's effect. You can also do some sneaky plays with your new Marco. So you can swing with the Marco, do whatever with it, then trigger your Teach's effect to kind of gobble this up. It goes to the trash. Teach gains its buff, you get that draw, and then you can also trigger the on-KO effect to bring it back out by trashing a card, and then you get to trigger the removal effect once again, which is really nice because the removal effect is not once per turn. So a really cool play that you can have happen there. Another card that helps us with a bit of aggro, a bit of aggression is our Markuno. So if we're running a full play set of Markuno, it is a 2k counter, which is absolutely insane as well. So great for some defensive plays in your hand. The main effect is activate main, you may arrest this character up to 1 of your red characters with cost of 1, gains 3,000 power during this battle. So you may be asking, what can we buff with Markuno? Well, we can buff the Otama, which we've spoken about before. We can buff the Gordon, one that we've spoken about before, and then some spoilers for what's coming up. You can also buff Izo, and you can also buff Buggy. So bunch of great targets there. You can buff another Markuno as well. So plenty of options for Markuno to be live. Just have that extra aggression with your low cost characters. This is very standard play for the old Zoro play style, so still room for that in here. And yeah, these are some great targets for it right there. The last card that we are running that helps us with that aggression, we are just running 2 of the Rush Zoro. So this is the only card in the deck that is not searchable. So keep that in mind if you ever do see it when you're doing your searches, just because you know you can't grab it. But Zoro, for those that don't know, 3 cost, 5,000 body. It is a rush character, so it can help you close out games, because if you have a Don and a Zoro, you swing for 6k, which is really nice. Also just help you control the board a bit more. All right, now we're going to move on to the searches of the deck, the whole thing that makes this deck really consistent and just, yeah, absolutely insane. First of all, we're running a full playset of Ezo. So Ezo is a 1 cost, 2000 body, 1000 counter. The on plays look at the top 5, reveal a Whitebeard Pirates type card other than Ezo, and add it to your hand. The rest go to the bottom of the deck. So searches out the Marco, searches out the Teach, searches out the other Marco, searches out the Vista, and also searches out the Jozu right there. So plenty of targets right there. Ezo also, in fact, searches out Whitebeard Pirates, which is the next searcher that we have. So basically, it has the exact same effect as Ezo. Cost you 1, look at the top 5, reveal a Whitebeard Pirates type card, add it to your hand. The trigger does exactly the same. But there's no other restrictions, so you can grab another Whitebeard Pirates card to your hand with this one here. The next searcher that we are running a full playset of Buggy. So Buggy is a 1 cost 3000 body, no counter. The on plays, you can look at the top 5, reveal a red event, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So searches out your Whitebeard Pirate, searches out your guard points, your radical beams. The other effect is actually really good, catches some people off guard. This character cannot be KO'd by battle with slash attribute cards. So Zoro is a slash, so when you go in the mirror, just remember that you can't swing into buggies, and you can't be swung into by Zoro. There are a few other characters like your Rush Zoro, some other things out there, but yeah, just make sure you're checking that when you're being swung into. The final card in the deck, the final searcher that we are running Curly Dadan. So Curly, 2 cost, 3000 body, 1000 counter. The on play, look at the top 5, and you can reveal 1 red character with a cost of 1 and add it to your hand. Everything else goes to the bottom of the deck in any order. So you're searching out the buggies here, you're searching out your Ezos, you're also searching out the Otamas, you're also searching out the Gordons, as well as the Makino. So plenty of search power, as I mentioned, which is what makes this deck absolutely insane. Alright, there is the deck in all of its glory. As you can see, no big boy Newgate Whitebeard himself. Simply just, yeah, not needed in the deck. Got plenty of other options for defense, removal, and aggression in there. But yeah, let us know what you think of the deck profile. Let us know what you do differently. And as always, thank you for checking out the video. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you all in the next one.